Hello, everyone, and it is Wednesday, November 11th. Happy Veterans Day, everyone. It's the Topher Spin Meteorites Hangout. We got a lot of the same crew that always join us, which is really, really awesome. Hoping that Pat Brown joins us. Maybe late, maybe there's a time shift. Maybe he hasn't picked up on the fact that it's a new time, but hopefully he'll be joining us today. Got some big news and big interesting news in meteorites, especially for the fans here of the Hangout and people who are active on the Hangout. The dream, the ambition is as a meteorite hunter to meteorite collector is to have an official meteorite sent in to a scientist to get it classified and published on the MetBull. Now, the MetBull is a meteorological database, bulletin database. So we all call it the MetBull, but that's what we're referring to. So if you just Google any NWA number, probably one of the first or second links that will pop up is going to be the MetBull. And we've been very, very successful as a very entrepreneurial group. So we have a lot of extremely brand new meteorites that were just added to the MetBull within the last day, up to a week ago. But these are not fresh falls necessarily. These are meteorites that were just added, classified and added to the database. So kind of our fallback subject today, when we don't have anything show and tell related, we're going to fall back to and telling stories of our classified meteorites, showing off our brand new classified meteorites, announcing them to the world and showing them off like proud parents. So that's my goal, at least. I have a few that I've sent in for classification. 2 have officially been classified as of a week ago. My 3rd one's classified. So I'll have to get more room on my arm. There's my first L class. Then I have a diagonite. Next over here is my Pallasite. And down here is going to be my Eucrite. Nice. Or should I put them out here? I don't know. But the whole arm's going to be full.
That's commitment.
Let me unspotlight me real quick. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty committed. Now the question I have though is, and I answered it myself, but when I submit, like Oz and I went in partners on the odd numbered golden Pallasite, NWA 13579. It's all the rage. It's absolutely a beautiful meteorite. And Oz has a few. He actually cut them. They are gorgeous on the inside as well. I'm going to show some off. Here's my brand new classification. Now that one I submitted with Oz, and we're co-main mast holders. So that one's going on the arm. Now, been very fortunate building this community that I've met people like Juan, Avidas with Jurassic Dreams. And also I was able to put together, with the help of my sponsors, the first 2020 Meteorite Mansion. And we had Cameron Smith join us. And one of the perks of staying there was we gave away a free meteorite, complete with classification services. And that was back in February. Well, that was just classified and added to the MetBull. So later on, after Cameron is done with his dinner, we're going to have him join us and kind of tell us that story and share with us as well. But if you have something you want to show off, raise your hand and I'll come right to you. But I have my box right here of classified stuff, or stuff that's being classified or just classified. And I have some really cool stuff in here. So I'm looking for hands. There are none. So I'm going to go right to my Pallasite. It's listed over here in the meteorites for sale pile because they are going on sale Saturday. I've owned these for so long, and the only ones that have left my hands have gone to the classifier himself, Daniel Shake at Florida State University. Not only did he do the classification for us, but I also made sure he got some samples for himself. So this is the main mass that will be made available on Saturday. And I'll switch cameras. I also have some smaller ones, but I'll tell you what, this one here is just out of focus. Are you serious? How in the world does my phone decide it doesn't want to work today? Wow. That's unfortunate. I never have any problems with my cell phone. Let me try one more time.
Sure you do.
Dude, this is ridiculous. Let me pause this real quick. Okay, technical issues resolved. This is the main mass of NWA 13579, nicknamed the the odd numbered golden Pallasite. Check this out. Oh, it's not gonna let me zoom in, but it is an absolute gorgeous Pallasite with olivines just busting out. And they're all colored olivines. You have amber, yellow, gold, and then in all these, like all up in here, you have really nice fusion crusts. On here and down in here, covering some of the olivines. I actually had a sample, yeah, where you can tell here is an olivine 100% uncovered, and then other olivines covered in fusion crust. Yeah. So this is the main mass that I'm super proud of, my first classified Pallasite. And this is the other showpiece from the classification. This one is absolutely gorgeous, and I know someone is just going to fall in love with it, not only because of its beauty, but because of its shape. A lot of collectors love having natural holes in meteorites. And that one has two beautiful.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Is that a huge piece of aluminium?
I couldn't hear you, Ron.
That in the lower right corner, is that one giant piece of olivine?
Let me get my pointer out. Where my pointer went.
By your ring.
This right here?
Yes.
All one big olivine.
Wow. That's amazing.
So
yeah, it's amazing stuff.
That is amazing.
And then all these are 3D, basically.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is the other one of the other showpieces from the classification. I'm going to put every single piece I have up for sale. Whatever doesn't sell will be my personal piece. And I'd be satisfied with any of them being my personal piece.
Getting feedback somewhere.
I think I resolved it.
Okay.
Now, there's a low total known weight for that one, isn't there?
There is. Thank you. There's only 644 published known grams of it. However, I am going to be in contact with Daniel to add one piece to it, which is my 74-gram piece that I've had in my collection that spurred me to buy this and classify it. And I've done enough research now to trace it back to the same buyer from the nomads. So I am 100% confident it is the same. And in fact, here it is. This was in my personal piece, my personal collection, and this is going to be added to the total known weight, bringing it to 644 plus 75, whatever that is. But you can see this is the exact same stuff.
Yeah.
And this was it. This was my personal piece. But I will replace it with the main mass. See that amber one right there?
Yeah.
You have the amber and the yellow one. But yeah, I don't care which of the pieces are left. It's going to go in my collection, but all of them are for sale. I'm not going to be stingy. I'm not going to high grade. I'm just going to put it all out there. Yeah, this one is. This is the one that kind of motivated me to make the purchase with Oz. Go in on it.
Do you have any information on how stable these are?
They look extremely and feel extremely stable. I've had this one for 8, 9 months,
Oh,
and I played with it a lot. And it's
Okay.
in perfect condition. It's not like some other ones that are nicknamed golden pallasite as well, where the patina on the iron is golden and there's pretty much no more silicates or olivines left. I mean, there are some, don't get me wrong, but when you look at this, it's not a sculpture, it's not as sculptural and naked as some of other ones that are golden pallasites. But look at these gems.
Does the olivine show signs of
Arthur, you're really super low. And if Daniel wants to chime in and correct me on anything, by all means, I don't want to misspeak.
You're doing a really good job so far, Topher. Keep going.
Thanks. It means a lot, man, because you know me, I'm the master of getting a perfect post up, except for calling it Gourara 002.
It was a one number.
Yeah.
003,
dyslexic.
002, same thing.
But it makes a huge difference in the here, let me cancel this. It makes a huge difference in science and in meteoritics, well, science in general. I'm a prolific content creator online. I like to think so, at least. And there's so many loose strings out there that I may leave for people to tug on, and I like tying them up as quickly as I can. So I'm glad I have the actual scientist that classified this on with us, because he also did some classifications for us. Let me see. Hey, Mike Kelly joined us. Yeah, he also did some classifications for us. Just finished one for Oz. Oz, do you want to talk about that one? Because it actually came out to be a really cool classification.
I could talk about it.
You are spotlighted, my man.
Hi, everybody.
yeah,
Great to see you, buddy.
Yeah, today it just came out. I got up this morning and looked, and it was a good day and everything. And what do we got? 13.519 and L3-5, which is a pretty cool classification. When Topher and I cut that rock, we were looking at it going, this is something pretty special. So I was pretty happy that it came out like it did, a Genomic L3-5. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's weird because I've only heard the nomenclature or seen the nomenclature of Genomic used once before. Let me see here. Replay spotlight. I've really only heard the term genomic once before, and that's kind of where my education on the term came from. And it's our buddy Matthew Martin with the longest classification, official classification that I've seen. Look at this one. This is a genomic, and what the genomic means to me is let me see here. Replay spotlight. There we go. They're all of the same class. They're all LL. It's an LL series rock, but has everything in there from L3.1, including LL3 and LL5. So in this meteorite, there is a mixture of brecciated material that if you were to just scoop out and analyze each piece independently, it would be misleading and misclassified because it doesn't represent the piece in its entirety, because it's a breccia, meaning consisting of many rocks. So if you look down, I always lose my pointer. I should have like multiple pointers out here. You look down here, obviously you see a tight bundle of chondrules. So there's where you're getting into your lower 3.1, stuff like that. Then you have obviously up here larger chondrules and separation, and that's going to be your LL5s, I'd imagine, especially including over here the big ones. And in the middle there's a mix, and I don't want to get too specific about it because that's like the extent of my knowledge, but a super cool piece to have. And this is the only time I've seen a Genomic Breccia besides Oz's brand new one. So congratulations, Oz. That's like really super cool.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I actually have a small sample of it. Do I? I know I do. Yeah. Let me see. Does anyone have anything to show off, and then I can come back to me? Or all right, let me get Oz's piece real quick. All right. So this is a look at Oz's. I just took really rough notes, but it's NWA 13519. It's an L3-5, so it has L3 and L5 brecciation in there. It is a shock level of 3 and a weathering level of 3. Arthur, when I heard you read a classification one time, I don't want to call you out. I just want to educate a little bit. When you see this third segment of a classification, that's a weathering. And we're always talking a number. So it's not W0, it's W0, okay? It's a shock value and a weathering value, and these are always going to be numbers. Just a little bit of education for people. When you go to the MetBull and you see classifications like that, you're also going to see things like this. It's an H class 5 with a shock value of 1 and a weathering value of 2. So that's how you make sense of what you see on the MetBull. But this is Oz's brand new Meteorite, completely out of focus. There we go.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It's got a little bit of rust, high metal rust looking area right here. That I'm going to have to pay a little bit more attention to, or at least look under the microscope a little bit. But even on this side.
Yeah, it's got some surface rust.
But it is.
Topher?
Yep.
You want me to tell you what happened? Is I had them soaking after I cut it in distilled water. I had it soaking in denatured alcohol, and what had happened is it actually dried. So what you're probably seeing is varnish or something, I would assume. So they could be easily polished out.
Yeah, I literally have I just opened these like yesterday or the day before when I was chatting with you online, and I've been so extremely busy that I haven't had a chance to enjoy anything since then.
Look at that end cut.
When
That's
I'm looking
beautiful.
at this, are you seeing what I'm seeing? A mega chondrule right there.
Yeah.
But it's not visible. Man, my camera is not focusing today. But it's not visible on the other side.
And see, Topher, whenever we cut that, we took off the material to send for classification. But I still owed you that piece. That was 27 grams. So that's what those pieces are trying to replace.
Oh, this is fantastic, man. I love having classified pieces of my friend's material. It's more valuable than Mars to me. When we cut this together, one of our friends classified it. It's your first entry as a main mass holder on the MetBull.
Exactly.
It's a super special meteorite, man.
Oh, man.
And it's a Genomic. It's an L3-5. That's pretty freaking cool, you know?
Telling you what. Always one of my first class to be an L.
That's awesome. Then with it, I got 2 COAs yet to be filled out because we just now got the number. So now I can officially fill out your COAs.
I'll send you new ones with the picture of it with new COAs.
Sweet. I'll fill these in with Gujba and Nakala on the other one. Switch in the
Zagami,
scammer.
yeah.
I'll get you added in the scammers database. Yeah. Let's see here. Do I see any hands
Jonathan
up?
would be with you.
Do I see any hands up right now? Nope. Let me show you something sexy. I feel bad. I really do. Okay.
Don't do it.
I don't sell stuff when I submit it for classification. I don't sell it until it's classified. The reason you send it in for classification is to find out exactly what it is, identify it, for a dealer to put a value on it potentially, or for science to know what it is, or for the collector to know what it is. But I never sell anything and have it listed as classification pending. Take the time, do it right, put it away, forget it exists, let science catch up to you, and then bring it to market the way it should be. That being said, sorry, Chris Colvin, I got to call you out. Sorry, I told you I was going to do it, but I apologize in advance. I'm super, super proud that from the Christopher Colvin collection, this is not classified yet, but it will be soon. What we are looking at here is a 45 or 43 gram piece. It is the main mass to a Mesociderite. And the thing about it is subtyping was done. So when we talk about a Mesociderite, that is generic, like we talked about last week. Mesociderite is a generic classification like pickup truck. But we still don't know so much about this pickup truck. We know for sure it's a Mesociderite, but we don't know what. Now, if I can zoom in, my phone is just not going to let me zoom in today. But hopefully it focuses.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay. It is gorgeous. Here's the outside. So much beauty. I'm in awe, and it never gets old holding space debris that's 4 billion plus years old and
Not
rare
like that.
stuff.
Man, oh man.
That's gorgeous.
So thank you guys. Thank you. The nodule there that we're looking at, the iron nodule, is very reminiscent of a famous Mesociderite. Who can name it?
Bondoc.
There you go. Yep. Bondoc from the Philippines is it has lots of little nodules like that.
Or
so
Vaca Muerta.
Does Vaca Muerta have it too? I've never
I
had
got
it.
a really nice Vaca Muerta one.
Oh man, yeah. I've never been fortunate enough to have one pass through me. But this is a Mesociderite, and the classification has been submitted to the NOMCOM, another term that we use here, the Nomenclature Committee, which is the group of scientists that basically approve or request more information or deny a submission to the Meteorite Bulletin, the MetBull. So as the scientists submitted this to the NOMCOM for approval, it is listed, it's been requested, and I don't know if it'll be granted, as a 1 of 1. The first Mesociderite, I wrote it down, B2/3.
Sweet.
A B2/3. Now, just for understanding, like I said, I just scribbled really quick notes. It's a B/3, so it has both these characteristics in it. there's only 7 B2s, and there's only 1 B3. And I'm including Antarctic ones, even though there aren't any. So there's only 8 Mesosiderite B2 or B3, and this is potentially it's one of them, but it may be given a B/3. And then you can see the breakdowns even further. Of Mesosiderite, just a B family or group, 22. Mesosiderite B1, 4, and B4, 4. So not a whole lot of Mesosiderites, and then not a lot of subtyping done after the B to find out a B2, B1, B3, something like that. So I'm really excited about this. Look at the X on that. And as you look at it through different lighting, it totally looks different ways. It's a beautiful meteorite to the class, Mesosiderites, in order to take photographs of and play with the lighting. You can highlight like just a total metal if you want. Or you can really get the lighting just to show off the colors of the silicates. Yeah, I enjoy Mesosiderites and the science behind them. I need to learn a little bit more to enjoy them fully, but I know a gem when I see one. So that I snagged that one up as quickly as I possibly could.
Yep, you did.
Yeah. All right. Anyone want to show something off? Let's see here. I see no hands up. All right.
There you go.
Here's something that is another reason why I don't sell anything before it's classified. Juan Aviles Pabawar submitted something for approval, and he had no idea what it was. It was thought it may be an ensign state. That's a very rare meteorite. Well, I made sure that when I had a chance to cut some off the type sample, I went ahead and did so. So while after Tucson, I had the meteorite, the 5 kilogram plus meteorite in my possession for months. So I figured, you know what? Christopher Hurd doesn't need all 4.4 kilograms. Christopher Hurd at I think the University of Toronto, I think. Doesn't need all 4.4 kilos. So we cut off a section for him. And then I cut off 2 pieces that broke on natural cracks. So not really sure why this was thought to be an ensign state, but it is now classified as Tazzarine 002. So it's H class, so it has heavy metal in there, shock value of 1, weathering of 2. What's super awesome and makes this meteorite invaluable to me is Juan is my friend, and this is his first personal find. The ones that I submit to the Meteorite Bulletin for classification or to a scientist for classification, those are purchased. I'm not hunting. I hunt on my own from time to time, but I'm not finding 4 kilograms, and I'm not finding Pallasites in my backyard, you know. He actually lives in Spain and travels to Morocco often and hunts. And he found a 5 kilo meteorite. And it's now a classified H5. So huge congratulations to Juan. He's a big name in the paleontology and fossil. Now he's breaking into meteorites really well. And this is his first find, and it's been classified. And I finally don't have that 5 pound or whatever it was, 5 kilo rock in my office anymore, which is a bonus for me. Yeah, so it's a beautiful meteorite. It's got lots of metal in there. Yeah, unfortunately, both slices broke right down the same natural fault line. So this is the other one here. And it broke down the natural fault line. But Some nice condoms in there. For an H5, it's beautiful.
That's nice material, that Instatype thing at the beginning. I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe I don't understand instantites myself. So maybe that is a subject for another day, or a subject that we can hand the mic to Daniel on, because I don't know myself. But yeah, this was thought to be that, but it's not. It's an H class. But I think it's really cool to have friends that will just say, like, I don't feel like taking this back to Spain right now. Can I leave this meteorite at your house for 5 months? Yeah.
So that's trust.
Yeah, it's not like I can move very fast with it. No, but yeah, I've had lots of meteorites sitting in my house for a while that I'm like, oh, this is great. I get to keep it for a while and take a look at it. So that's another meteorite that our group has sent in for classification. Cameron, we are ready if you are.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Cam.
Oh, sir. I have to say I'm digging the beard.
Yeah, Oz has got the beard in full effect, the winter beard.
All right, so this is my 441 gram main mass of 13521. Got classified today. Thank you, Oz, for making that post, because I don't hit refresh on that
Material.
page as much as I should. So, and then of course I got
This is your first meteorite on the meteorite bulletin.
this is the half. The other half of this is what went to Daniel Shake for classification.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I appreciate it, Daniel, for getting me in the MetBull.
Sure, no problem. I also have your thin section right here. I have to send it to UCLA, but this is what I used to get the shock grade and the weathering grade, and also where I did the analysis.
So the story behind my acquisition of this meteorite is that my first trip to Tucson, my first meteorite friend invited me to stay at the Meteorite Mansion. And yes, staying there, we were entered in the drawing to win this magnificent stone donated by Juan. I'm afraid to say his last name because I'm going to say it wrong. Of Jurassic Dreams fossils.
I say it differently each time so no one can tell me I ever mispronounced it, because I got it right at least once. Juan Aviles. It's beautiful, man.
I like this little circular.
Yeah. I haven't seen this one in a while. I've forgotten about it, man. I'm so happy for you, buddy.
Well, yeah, this one is definitely, yeah, I still got the original 585 sticker.
Yeah, at the Meteorite Mansion, I basically did a thing where I had all my sponsors dig in a little bit, and look at those metal blebs.
No kidding.
Wow. That's gorgeous, dude. Wow. And that's remnant fusion crust all along there, man.
Absolutely.
You can see where it flaked off.
This is definitely one that I pick up when I cruise by the case.
Hey, did we start early today or something? Or?
We started Arizona time. Early for you, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I made the same mistake last week.
Yeah. This is great, Cameron, because I haven't seen this one in a while. I just love looking at it. It's a great story because I've never, I've only been in meteorites for a few years. So the idea of giving away a meteorite and classification services is something that I never thought I'd be able to do. And I, quite frankly, am not able to do it. but I had great sponsors for the Meteorite Mansion, and this is one of the things that we were able to do is provide someone who is not in the MetBull with a chance to own their own main mass and have it classified. And just it worked out perfectly. I couldn't have been prouder of you, man. Couldn't have been happier for you.
Yeah,
Congrats,
I
man.
really do want to thank everybody, Topher and Daniel and Juan. It's
It's something special, dude.
It definitely is.
Yeah. So this is NWA 13521. That's beautiful, dude.
It sure
And
is.
I doubt that this is going to be for sale. So you're looking at a main mass that will probably never be cut.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the only other person that has any of it besides Daniel.
And that little partial slice, what's going to happen with that? That's cut from the type specimen. That's marketing, man.
No, this is definitely staying in the case.
There you go. There you go.
Sorry, my case has kind of got one-way doors on it.
Well, that's why when you have the opportunity, like I said, let me see here. When you have the opportunity that someone's going to leave a meteorite with you for a few months, you take a few grams for yourself. So this is the Meteorite Mansion giveaway being classified, but now it actually has the number and 585 known grams. And the cool thing about it is this is more expensive than Mars. It will never leave my collection. I have 2 little pieces and they are prized. These are ones that just kind of fell off as we were cutting. But they're such good representative pieces of the whole stone that I don't need the whole stone. Look at that. It's got the remnant fusion crust, beautiful matrix, internal, which is really the external, and then nice little inside. The little puppy over here is pretty cool. Little show some brecciation, I think, or maybe that's just saw marks. But yeah, this is the only other example of that meteorite in private collection.
You're the lucky one.
Anyone can own it. Seriously, I'm selling it. $35,000 a gram. And look at it. Hey, it's who's to say it's overpriced? You can't say it's overpriced. I mean, hold on. Why is this cancel? Yeah, it's not overpriced. I mean, you can't get it. No one else on the planet has it unless you rob UCLA.
The relative thing.
No. So these are the things that are super special to me as a collector. When I have just a little something like this, that's so overlooked on the shelf. People would walk by and just say, "Oh yeah, 10 grams of even a meteorite. Yeah, oh yeah, 10 grams." No, the story behind this, me chilling out with Cameron at the fire at the Meteorite Mansion, yeah, just some good times and good stories. So, and it's the patience pays off because we started that back in February. Now here we are in November. So things take a little time even without COVID. I see Ron.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Ron.
Hey there. Okay, so y'all know the story of the Aletai I've been talking about. I sent a how-to video to Topher. He'll post it shortly. Let me change my camera here, and let's see here. Maybe you want to pause for a second. Get the camera switched over. The final result, and I used Craig Lyman's method of treating this thing. I went out and bought a instead of using the iron anodes, I purchased a graphite brick, which worked beautifully, just like you said it would. I also used a pool chemical spa up. I guess it has I forget what it has in it. Potassium.
Are you using that instead of the baking or the soda?
The lye, yeah. I changed out the lye to caustic. And yeah, I showed it in the video. But what I did, the big thing was instead of using the Paleo Bond, which I sanded off, and it was still kind of tacky even after the curing. So I went over to our local automotive store, AutoZone up the street here, and bought some clear coat. I put it on there, and I got beautiful results. You can see that the etch came out very nice. This is just ferrochloride etch. Let me pick it up here. But it's got a nice hard surface. This side came out, I put it on a little too heavy, it's a little too shiny. I did a little lighter spray on this side. But it came out beautiful. It's hard, it's not tacky. And so the proof is going to be over the next few months if it rusts up again. I mean, yes. I cooked the bejesus out of this thing, using the distilled water, then soaked it in isopropyl for 24 hours, baked it out, followed the directions for the clear coat. I got great results. I'm very happy with this. It may be one of the better etches I've got. This is the first time I've etched something. I've never really etched before.
It's a great job.
Pardon me?
It looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. It feels great too. It's nice and smooth. It's got a nice glassy finish. There's no tackiness to it, which I really like.
No tackiness at all?
Nothing.
That's awesome.
It's hard as a rock. It actually feels like a pane of glass. It's very smooth.
Okay.
And I've never really polished meteorite before. As a kid, I had a rock tumbler and a saw and all that stuff. I was 15 years old. Of course, I'm 72 now, but a long time ago. Anyway, so this came in kind of rough. So I used my little orbital sander, little palm sander, and I show this in the video. I go through a series of finer grade papers and actually did a nice job. I was amazed at how well it came out just by using a simple palm sander.
What grit did you use?
Well, I started with 80 just to get the rough surface off because it was kind of rough. I went to 100, 120, 220, 320, I believe, then 1500. Actually found some 1500, and it was shiny. I only spent maybe 5 minutes per grade. I mean, it didn't take long at all.
Wow.
But the piece was already flat. I didn't lab it because I don't have that capability. I don't have the equipment. But it really worked well. So, I mean, I show an excruciatingly detailed account over 22 days, I think it is, of what I did on this rock. So, Topher, the faster you can post that, the sooner people can take a look at it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ron has been really, really helpful in creating a lot of videos for my YouTube channel. He's done a lot of the framing and displaying, backlighting of Pallasites, as well as one on the trials of front lighting and iron.
Yeah.
And the recent one he sent over is about the electrolysis of this piece. It started out from China in less than healthy condition.
You might say that. like dust.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it, and there was like a crumbled pile of rust debris, and then I could see where your piece was in the.
Yeah.
But what's great about that, and we talked about it last week, is this is like a sacrificial piece. We're attempting new stuff, we're sharing information, and I commit to you that by the end of this weekend, that video will be live.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
my personal commitment to you, and okay. we'll drink on it.
Cheers.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a very detailed. I go into a lot of explanation and what I did, what the changes were along the way, and it's a combination of still photography and videos and then voiceovers and whatnot. It took me a long time to make that video, so yeah.
It takes a long time to make quality content. That's why I appreciate when you do it for me and help us all out. And I feel like crap because you have to stay on me for weeks to
That's okay.
finish.
Well, eventually it gets out there. But, you know, my wife thinks I'm crazy because I come into this room. This is like this is spare bedroom. It's my meteorite cave, you know. And so I tell her, well, I'm going to be talking to myself for a while. So I close the door, close the window so they don't hear the traffic behind me because we back up to Main Street. And I start talking on these videos. So I feel like I'm talking to myself. I'm not a professional. I'm just an amateur, you know. So.
No, and that's really the key to it, is because we're all amateurs and we all want to learn from each other's mistakes, trial and error. Like I can tell people right now one thing. Once I post this video, you'll learn a lot more. Once I watch the video, I'll learn a lot more. As you can tell, Ron, I haven't even watched it yet, but I will watch it and edit it and put it up. But one thing I can tell people right now is when you choose, if you choose to convert from a paleo bonded piece to another, like the clear coat, there's no need to sand it off.
Really?
Yes, simply put it in acetone for 10 seconds. Wipe it down with acetone, and the paleo bond comes right off like it was never on there.
Wow, because what I had to do, I sanded it down to base metal, which did all the etch off. I had to re-etch it. And
Exactly.
it came out just as nice, but it took another day or two of soaking and cleaning and all that stuff. That's good to know. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, you probably did what's best for the piece by taking it down further than what you think the oxidation had reached. So I don't think your efforts were in a waste, but just for future knowledge, if you have, like, I have some chondrite slices that I know I don't want paleo bond anymore. Well, I'm not going to put them on the lap. I'm just going to put them in acetone, then drop them in rubbing alcohol. They're done.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Well. Now, I don't know why Sam Lopez is on the screen right now, but let me pause real quick.
All right.
All right. It's that time of the week again that we have our weekly check-in with Marco. Marco Gaisser is checking in from Germany. And as I said, I've been so extremely busy that I have not even watched his video yet. And I talked to him before. I said, look, if you start going off on tirades and start talking about taking over the world and dominating, I'm going to have to take you out. But I have faith you're going to show us some beautiful meteorites. And he says, yes, you're in, get ready for some oriented treats. So here we go. Marco Gaisser. Is it Gaisser or Geezer? From Germany.
Hello everyone, I hope you have a great hangout today, and I think now it's time to see some orientation. Enjoy! Okay, the first piece for today is this 92 gram unclassified Nwa Chondrite. As you can see, it's a little bit weathered, especially on the front side, but the trading side of the piece shows a really nice lipping.
Oh yeah, it does.
That's for sure.
Jeez. Wait a second. I got to go back and look at that.
Here again you see the trailing side of the piece.
Jeez. Wow. Now, for those that are joining who may not understand what we're looking at, this is the backside of the meteorite. And I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but this entire line right here is called a rollover lip. And this is what we call a hard rollover lip. I mean, it's continual and complete. And basically that happens from oriented flight. With the rock staying stable in flight, the liquid rock blows back and blows off this negative pressure edge. the side touching the fabric is the side touching the air, leading its way through the atmosphere. So all of this is being liquefied and burning off the backside. Look at that. Wow.
And here comes the second piece for today.
I love his excitement.
It's also unclassified NWA chondrite, and it weighs 370 grams. It's 100% crusted, so you see those nice flow lines here on the front side, and the back side also shows nice features like pooling of the crust.
That's great flow lines.
Like a shield.
Yeah. That's what you would have seen coming at you.
And that's the trailing side of the piece. It also shows lipping here.
Are you kidding me?
And as I said, that frothy, bubbly crust. It's quite fresh.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, last but not least, I want to show you this piece here. It's also an unclassified NWA chondrite. It weighs 2,300 grams, and as you can see, the front side shows a really nice orientation with deep rachmaglypts, elongated rachmaglypts. Unfortunately, the backside is broken. There are parts with secondary fusion crust, so it's broken during the atmospheric flight. But yeah, here comes the pretty side of the piece.
We're all waiting.
What's your PayPal, Marco?
Yeah. Do you need Deutschmarks or US dollars?
Really?
Okay, folks, that were the pieces that I had to show today. I hope you enjoyed it, and of course I wish you a great hangout, have fun, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thanks, Marco. Yeah, that's a treat when he checks in. Oh, I guess I can take the second set off. That's always a treat when Marco checks in, and you know I love it. I love him. I love his flair and his lighting. Yeah. I want to get to Germany to see his collection and visit with him and Alex Volta. That would be fun. Yeah. So let me see here. Who has something else to show off?
You're still recording, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure.
We're good. I will show off some stuff that I have had hidden away in the bag marked unclassified that soon will be published as Gourara 003. This is my Eucrite. They're all packaged up and have been sleeping here for months, just waiting for the MetBull to catch up with us. So let me open up. Oh man, oh they're beautiful. I haven't seen these in months. I haven't seen these in months. Look at how gorgeous this stuff is. So here's just 3 pieces of it. It's a Eucrite with super fresh black glossy crust. I I am not exaggerating or kidding when I say that.
Bam.
Oh, that's nice.
I have not sold a single piece since I got this.
Incredible.
Not published yet.
It will be we hope, as Gourara. That's Gourara 003.
Gourara.
Oh, that is remarkable.
Classic.
I wanted to see this next to Tierhurt and see the similarities or the differences, because Tierhurt is a witnessed Eucrite that's known for its crust, and the crust looks identical. And I actually have a piece of a slice of Tierhurt here. But look at that.
Wow.
Looks fresh. The crust
Every single, look, there's the rollover lip on this one.
Nice.
That almost looks like it's painted on.
That was a thought of someone.
Any idea how old a Eucrite that looks that fresh can be, in theory? I mean, that's a huge question, but
Yeah.
you mentioned a witnessed fall.
Well, Tierhurt was a
when?
witness fall, so when they picked it up, it obviously looked just like, it looked fresh. This looks day one fresh. I don't want to say it was picked up day one because I have no idea, but I don't see any terrestrialization or any sand in here whatsoever. Maybe Daniel has
Pretty
it better.
fresh.
I mean, it's probably
Yeah.
going to be listed on the MetBull as a weathering 0 or weathering 1, I'd imagine, at most. But again, that's me hypothesizing. Yeah, but every single piece I have has crust. Every single piece. So no matter if you buy a big one or a small one, they all have crust. And they're all going to be available this Saturday. And I don't mean my hangouts to be a sales pitch, but we're talking about new classifications. And I'm only going to sell this if it's published by Saturday. So that's the rush. I mean, I have little smaller ones. Like I said, they all have beautiful little crusts, little crusty crusts.
And I have slices too, so.
Yeah, his slices are amazing. Look at these little guys right here. Yeah, so I'm just looking at this stuff for the first time in months myself.
Yikes.
That's insane.
It's nuts.
It's lovely.
It is the freshest Eucrite. It's probably one of the freshest meteorites I've seen.
It's like glass.
Besides the Witness Fall.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a piece of Tierhurt. And Tierhurt is a witnessed Eucrite fall. And it's super ungodly expensive. I don't know where I put it now.
Yeah, I got Tierhurt laying somewhere. I don't even know.
Wow, it's terrible when I mean, it's going to be up for sale this weekend, so it should be up in this pile somewhere.
Better find it.
Now, I will show you. I will show a really cool one, but yeah, I don't know where it is right now. But I do. Yeah, I do have a piece of Tierhurt, and I want to look at them side by side and compare them, because I'm not saying mine is as valuable as Tierhurt. It's obviously not witnessed, but it is a beautiful meteorite. And Oz and Jason Bliss are my meteorite buddies on that one. We all are co main mass holders.
Proud to be one.
It's super cool to have your name in the MetBull, but it's super cool to have your name in the MetBull right along two of your friends. That just makes it even better. And that's going to be a little super space, special space right there.
I'm going to get my first tattoos.
Really? What are you getting?
Dude, that's
Meteorites?
awesome.
Well, I got 3 classes now. Hell, I've been through the Army and everything else. Never got a tattoo, so might as well do something.
I'm all in favor of getting tattoos. People are surprised how much ink I have when they see me in the pool or something. By the way, I'm sporting one of Topher Spin Meteorite shirts. Collect space on the back.
Nice.
So while you're liking and subscribing down below, look in the link for my merch shop, and you can wear the coolest stuff ever.
Nice.
Let's see if anyone can name this witnessed fall from February 2018. Ooh, so much information has been given already. Here's the look at the internal. A witnessed fall from June 2018. Look at the
Oh,
crust.
man, look at that. Good grief.
It's as fresh as the day it fell.
Did it fall in the States?
It did not fall in the United States.
Okay.
Ozarkis.
Nope. If it
No.
was Ozarkis, it would
Yeah.
not be carbon.
No, yeah, the
carbonaceous.
backside's all
Oh,
totally different.
yeah.
The black for a moment there.
This is the
What,
best.
Latiba?
Nope. It fell in Russia. And it sounds
Is
like
it a turkey?
There you go. We are looking
Nice.
at my prized possession of Ozerki.
Dang it.
I have to correct a COA, even if it's off by a little bit. It's not over 34 grams. It's just under 34 grams. It killed me to do that, but science is science. Look at this.
That's gorgeous.
Ozerki is an expensive chondrite, unbelievably expensive. I mean, twice as much as Chelyabinsk.
Yeah.
You're looking at probably
I know.
$20 to $22 a gram to $25 a gram, for the nice crust like this. Versus, I sell Chelyabinsk, $10 a gram.
Mhm.
But this is a lot less material, and just a beautiful little piece. I think it has some secondary crust on there, and definitely some slick sides. You can see where it sheared off, and it's all shiny now along here. So this is the newest addition to my personal collection.
And I got your old one.
Yeah. I upgraded from that. I upgraded to a smaller, I paid more for this one than the one you bought for me.
Well, this is like 27 grams or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I sent it out. It already left, but I sent. Let me see here. Yeah, I sent that out to you yesterday. I think it was like 27 grams or something like that. It's a nice size one, but this one was when I negotiated. And then eventually you get to the point where you realize, no, I can't walk away. I gotta have that. I don't know if it's like when you're at like Barrett car auction or something and you just get caught up in the action, and then all of a sudden money stops meaning the same thing as it did 20 minutes ago. You see a couple cars go for $100,000, $300,000, $500,000. All of a sudden you're thinking, oh, if I need a Yugo, I'm going to be $300,000. If I need an Ozerki, it's going to cost me, $28 a gram.
Ozerki's awesome.
Yeah, so that's my personal collection there. I do have another little one that I'm adding to my collection.
Thanks for showing it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. This one should look familiar to the Oz man himself. My first Japanese meteorite.
Yay!
Yeah, Japanese, huh? Well, they have meteorites.
Ah, I
Little
got
gift
that.
for Topher.
Kesen.
Nice.
A super cool gift from my man Oz.
Through Jesse Piper.
Yep.
Jesse Piper, correct? Yeah.
He is the, I don't know if it's going to focus this close or not. There you go. Yeah, but I actually looked at it, and under magnification, you can see tons of detail. But this is my first Japanese meteorite, and as most Japanese meteorites are, it's a witness fall. I don't think they're just digging up and finding many meteorites in Japan. So all the meteorites are falls just about, and a lot of them are ancient. So here is Jesse's. He's the master of micros and Japanese. He only collects Japanese pretty much.
Yeah, Jesse's a specialist. Definitely go check him out if you haven't for Japanese meteorites.
There's his information.
This fall has a very
Absolutely.
interesting history behind it. The main mass is currently in the National Museum in Japan. It was kept for a long time in a temple. There is a shrine that was associated with it that was destroyed in a tsunami. So it's very interesting.
Very.
They build shrines around their meteorites or around where their meteorites land. He's shown me a bunch of places in Japan that he has visited or plans to visit that are shrines to the meteorites. I think is really cool. We have one here in Arizona. It's a big hole in the ground.
Well, hope is no
The
slouch.
old hole.
And oh, you know what? I got something to show. As everyone knows, I like collecting. If anyone has anything to show, they can just raise their hand. Let me know. I collect sand from deserts around the globe, not from beaches, but from strewn fields of meteorites. So one of my friends, Andrei Gorin, he's in the IMCA. He is in the Ukraine, and he goes out to Ilinets crater and studies there. Wow, he goes, it's a crate, not a crater. Anyway, it's supposed to be a crater, but he goes out there and studies the crater and collects impact material. And as you can see, this is terrestrial impact material. That's a really cool gift of his. And then I finally have it in a jar now, the sand. I think I showed it off last week, but it was in a bag because I had just received it. But you can see that it's really granular stuff. And on top, there's a lot of brecciated stuff. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah. So there's all kinds of material in there that's still been.
So are you sure the micrometeorites in that sand?
No, this is all terrestrial material that's been.
Okay.
I mean, there may be. I don't know. I didn't run a magnet through this.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should from now on, because the last sand I got from the Tarda strewn field. This is the sand from the Tarda strewn field right here. So when I was digging through this with a magnet, I found that in there. A tiny little iron meteorite.
Cool.
Very nice.
In the Tarda strewn field. It's not Tarda, I know that for sure. It's pure metal. But I also went through there and found, I don't know if you can see those things in there. I need to look at those under the microscope to find out what they are. But they were interesting enough to jump out of the Tarda sand. So they may be
If
little
they're not
pieces.
moving, you're all right.
They may be little pieces of Tarda. But yeah, I have little bottles ready to go. and hoping to fill these up with free samples for anyone who buys on my sale on Saturday. I told this is from Juan. He's been hunting and collecting at the Tartar strewn field for a while. So I had him send me a bunch of sand, and that's going to kind of be a little special thing. If you guys want with your order, just let me know and I'll throw in a little bit of Tartar sand from the strewn field itself.
Sweet.
I'm in for the sand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't forget the other part. It's thrown into every order. Yeah, I have a little bag here just labeled being classified and friend stuff being classified. And in here is just a little smattering of all kinds of things that are important, little bits. I mean, tiny little specks of stuff. But this is like Juan's new iron is in here. I have a small piece of my first classification, that tiny little piece right there, my first classification. A tiny piece that fell off the Barnstable main mass while we were at, I can like that. We were at the Meteorite Mansion and this fell off the main mass, and Stephen Amera didn't want to bag it up and everything. I was like, sold. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's Juan's new iron that will soon be published. While it was in my house for several months, 2 little pieces fell off. Well, I wasn't going to go out of my way to mail them because they probably get lost, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, in here is just a little bunch of little things that are special to me. This happens to be part of my second classification. It's a very crumbly NWA 12953. It's a diagonite. Let me see here. I have a better piece to show up here. So yeah, we're talking about classifications. This is a unique classification here. It's my second one, so I'm super proud of it. But you'll see it is a metal bearing diagonite. It has lots of chemosite in it. So even though it is a diagonite, which is usually really low metal content, you'll see this is definitely magnetic. So these dark patches here are chemosite, and this is my my second classification.
Nice.
And I'm also Met Brothers co-main mass holder with Jason Bliss on this one. So I'll actually be in the MetBull twice with Jason. So that's what's in that little jar, just little pieces that fell off of this one. It's so brittle. All right. Does anyone have anything else they want to share? Let me pause for 1 second. Ron is on his way to get some Libyan desert glass for us. But
I was going to say, I'm paying attention. I'm totally in if you guys want to keep going. I just got here basically, so.
Okay.
But
I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, we had a little time shift. Arizona doesn't change time zones, so the hangouts stay at 5:30 p.m. Arizona time. The world revolves around me. Sorry. Ron, show us your glass, buddy.
Okay, well, I'll just pull up to the camera. All right, so I just got this yesterday, actually. There we go. It's
Beautiful.
109 grams, I believe, but what caught my attention was this layering effect right in here. It's almost like it's been built up.
Kidding.
I saw that and I didn't even quibble about the price. I just bought it. Yeah, usually I'll offer.
Oh no.
Price, but it's a kind of a pale yellow. It's not real yellow like the others I have, but it's just a nice shape. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's got a nice little, I don't know if you can see it right there, a little pocket.
Oh yeah.
The deep pocket right there. And I wish I could focus.
Was there sand stuck in the bottom of that?
I think so. I think I saw a little dark spot down there.
That's wicked awesome.
Yeah. And it's got a bunch of little speckles in there, which you guys are telling me are sand, not the original meteorite, which probably true. So it's just a nice piece. It's just a nice, pretty yellowish whitish piece.
Mother Nature's artwork.
Pardon me?
Mother Nature's artwork.
I can't hear you, Arthur.
I said Mother Nature. Oh.
Mother Nature's artwork. Now you meet
Mother. Yeah. Yes, true. Anyway, so that's my newest piece, and it just kind of grabbed my attention. You know, something piqued my interest.
What grabs my attention about something like that is that was terrestrial sand, and that's not. You know, I mean, that's a good sized piece. Don't get me wrong. I've never had one that big, but there's so much Libyan desert glass, and there's pieces that are literally, you know, 2 kilos. You think about the massive energy event that had to cause that. And since there's I think we talked about this last week. I get in so many conversations, I forget if we actually discussed it on a hangout or not. So, but there's no crater. There's nothing there. So are they thinking it's an airburst?
Yeah, you know what? One thing that bothers me is that, you know, the sand in the desert moves around and fills in. Could the crater be buried under thousands of feet of sand somewhere?
That's a good point, because like they just discovered one in Greenland last year. You know?
I feel like the glass would just you know, out sustain any of the weathering you know, signs of an impact. Over time, erosion will just hide those remnants.
29 million years old.
Yeah, but the material will sustain its integrity for much longer once it's been glassified, or vitrified rather.
The existence of the crater has been kind of a subject of a lot of study, and you know, there's an airburst theory, and what I've always thought was that there's a crater, but it's been filled in with sand. I mean, it would be basically erased just by, you know, blowing sand. Just
I agree with you. I mean, it would be if there was an impact crater, there's so much moving sands that it would be leveled.
Yeah.
And then added to, and then shifted around on top of that, always with that now being the new layer.
That's right.
But I think that, and I don't know if they're doing this over there, but they were able to find a impact crater underneath a glacier in Greenland.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking about, because, you know, they have ground penetrating radar. It's one thing to look through ice. It's another thing to look through sand. You know, it's denser. It's probably, you know, reflects differently. I'm sure they can do it. I just, you know, I've never heard anybody talk about it.
Yeah, I was watching a documentary, or a PBS documentary. I think it was actually Nova. It was just called like Desert Glass, and it was talking all about Libyan desert glass. And this was like a year and a half ago, and I still remember that because they were like, we don't know where the epicenter is. Like, there's so much movement out in the desert that where the epicenter is not the epicenter anymore. You know, the dunes don't stay still. I have a last item that I want to show off. This is another one that's in for classification, and I want to hide the bottom because I have dollars on it, but here we go. All right. So this is a Winonaite. It's being classified by Sean Mahoney, and I was able to buy some of the same material. This is very rare material because most Winonaite is low metal. I got a piece of high metal, and it's sizable. It's sliceable.
Huge.
So this is the 61 gram What's really cool is you get a 61 gram piece of both. So you can compare the low metal and the high metal, because obviously the high metal is going to be denser and it's going to be a lot smaller. So this is 61 grams Winonaite being classified, and I'll be able to use the NWA number Sean said so graciously.
Nice.
So this is what 61 grams of low metal Winonaite looks like. Now, 61 grams of high metal.
Not much changed until you cut into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
Those are
look.
two different NWA numbers.
No, they're going to have, look at this. This one barely holds the magnet on. You can see it rotating around. It finds places on there that to stick, but this one is kind of like wank. I mean, it just, it's on there.
Yeah.
So this one is going to be super beautiful to slice, and I'm hoping that I can get at least 4 or 5 slices. I know I'm going to lose some right here. This edge is going to fall off, but it'd be nice to get some good slices, or do it this way, but still I'm going to have to deal with that. That's the problem when you do with something that's so beautiful, but you can only recognize the beauty on the interior. So I have some of this already cut and ready for my sale on Saturday. Pause. So here's some of the stuff that Sean already has packaged up.
Nice.
And you can see not much metal in there. That's the low metal. There's the high metal. So totally different looking meteorites, although they are going to be classified as the same. They're just going to be noted in there that some are high metal and some are low metal. And I think we're actually going to try to specify the weight of the low metal versus high metal, because this high metal is ultra rare.
I think that would be a good idea.
I may actually, now that I see these pieces, I may rethink how I slice this one. I may just slice it like this and get, 10 or 12 slices. Then at the end, call this my end cut and take it home with me. There's all kinds of things you can do with meteorites. All right, let me see here. All right. Well, I think we've had a pretty lively hangout. I don't think that we have anyone else wanting to show anything off. So it was really cool to talk about everyone's achievements in the MetBull. I'm really happy for all my friends, Cameron and Oz, and I don't really want to name names because I want to forget people, but like Mark had a lunar put on. There's so many of my friends and friends of the program getting their MetBull entries. So we're still working on Martin Lawler's The Beast. That should be made known soon. But thank everyone for joining. Let me pause 1 second. All right. So thanks everyone for joining today. I really appreciate it. If you want to stop by my sale on Saturday, I greatly appreciate that as well. If you can't make it, spread the word, and I'll still give you the discount for 24 hours because that's only fair. So
It's 4 o'clock Saturday,
it's 4 o'clock on Saturday, Arizona time.
3 o'clock LA time. Okay, got it.
Okay, 3 o'clock LA. Thank you for saying that so other people can tune in. And what I'm also doing on my sale, like I said, I really don't want to make these things sales pitches, but I do want to let you know everything is 10% off my normal prices, and I'm priced pretty well to begin with. $5 shipping for as much as you order to the United States, $25 shipping, whatever you order internationally. Everything will be given a gift. And If you want to put anything down on layaway, if you want a piece, 20% holds the piece and is non-returnable. However, you can move that deposit to another piece of my collection later on should you need to back out. So thanks everyone. Appreciate you joining today.
Okay, good night.
Have fun. Thanks guys.
Good
See you, Christian.
Bye, everybody. See you.
See you, Oz. Arthur.
Hey, guys.